Hey everybody, and welcome to another Pant Chat. It is Sunday evening here in the US. It is Monday morning somewhere else for one of our special guests who I will introduce in just a minute. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you all have a project in front of you because, of course, this hobby chat is not just to watch me fail at putting things together and gluing things to myself, which is not going to happen today because according to my project, I don't need glue. So there, Sean, you don't get to make fun of me. It is also to keep everybody else inspired, and I hope that we all get to hobbying. So as always, we have Sean, who is, for some reason, working on a regular painting, which I guess we'll talk about in a minute. Of course, we have Josh, we have Big Aaron, but we also have a special guest, the only person in the known universe to make Dave cry. We have Mango Smasher live from England, where it is 2:30 in the morning. Thank you so much for staying up. Thank you so much for joining us. It is our tradition that at the beginning of the show, we each go over what our project's going to be, and then we just let shenanigans begin. So I'll go first. I'm building 3 Primaris ATVs. I'm going to attempt to build the first one without glue because according to this, it's push fit. I've never actually tried to make a push fit model work with push fit, so I guess I'm going to try to do that. Sean, what are you doing?
I am painting.
But you're painting a painting.
That's not a space marine.
It's not a space marine. It is a painting. I am making an anniversary present for my wife, and she likes a book.
Aww.
There's a tree in the book. The tree is very special.
Is it the giving tree?
No, it's the night circus,
Because
and it
that
is
would
a
just be a
wishing
stump.
tree. But
Yeah.
You'd be done.
that would be some funny stuff.
Have you finished your Father's Day present?
Yes,
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
that
I'm glad that got done.
that one was only about a year and a month late,
Okay.
so it
Excellent.
was
So it's
pretty
good for
close to
two Father's Days.
Father's
exactly.
Day a year later. Josh, what are you
Yep.
doing?
I am adding some yellow to some separatists, and then I'm going to weather them. And if I've got enough time, I think I'm going to make a red silencer.
So you are painting X-Wing, so let's just be clear. Adding yellow to Separatists is not a weird technique for painting contrast colors. That is a different game. You're painting some X-Wing. You're super into the X-Wing repaints right now.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's pretty easy. It makes your models more your own, and it's fun. I don't have to worry about painting 1,000 models, which is pretty sweet. And by doing these like weathering and like adding specific colors to your squad, um, it's fun. I don't know how to explain it. It's such a refreshing thing rather than painting like 1,000 models and getting
Excellent.
tired of doing it.
Excellent. And then Big Aaron, what are you working on?
I'm working right now on some bases for Blackstone Fortress, and then hopefully I'll be working on some Nurgle or Death Guard Terminators. But the bases are gonna look like this because
Sweet.
Blackstone Fortress, all like shifting stones and whatnot. So yeah, got to work fast though on this green stuff.
And then of course we have this week our special guest, Mango Smasher. Mango, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
And what is your plan
Welcome.
for this 90 minutes?
It's going to be finish off a test model for a commission, and then work on some Kings of War.
Oh,
Ooh,
Josh and I used to be super into Kings of War.
I still love Kings of War.
Okay. When's the last time you touched a Kings of War model other than to like move it
Every
out of the
model is a
way?
Kings of War model. This is a Kings of War model.
I don't know if that's true
It's true.
because it's not on a giant square base.
not
That's cinematic.
yeah.
This is on a giant square base. Please re-evaluate your
That's actually
statement.
true.
Oh, it
If
is.
he's
Yeah.
playing X-wing, it's
Okay.
on a big square base, but not according to Kings not according to them disqualifying me from the painting competition that we don't
You were
have to get
so
into.
angry about that.
Still
He
am.
clearly still
Still
is.
am. Still am. Got disqualified for
That
models
was
that
like
Same.
half a decade
they
ago.
don't make, but whatever. Anyways, we don't need to talk about it. Mango, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine that you don't know, Mango is a live stream painter who does commissions, and he does commissions for free. So how do you decide like who gets the free commission? Is it just like someone's like, "Yo, I want this," and you're like, "Cool."
Pretty much. So I've had people start off with close friends and people part of the community down where I am in the UK, and then from there, from Twitch, it just ended up on just essentially people would get channel points and then use them, and then I build, paint a miniature, and ship it to them.
That is awesome. And of course, if everybody isn't familiar, Dave from Mini Wargaming recently was trolling around the interwebs and ran across you doing this, and he had a slight emotional reaction. What
Well,
exactly happened?
so Dave come in and said, "Betty, the Eye of Terror sees all." I recognised the name Mini Wargaming, so I sort of checked it out quickly before Dave got his next post in. I was like, "Yeah, I know who you are. I've been following you for a good 4 years now." Um, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's Dave. Like, what you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm painting up a free commission for someone," and from there onwards, they done a Twitter post about Contempt of Dreadnought. I painted up for a friendly competition. I'm in with some other streamers, and I just turned to him and said, "You didn't have to do that," and that was pretty much it from that point. Um, and then I said about the free commissions, and I'm currently working on the Death Guard patrol box that I actually won from a charity event as well. That was quite humorous at the same time.
So you
And
won something from a charity that you are now painting for free. And the
yes,
culmination of this, like, you're obviously a very humble person. You're a very humble person, and I appreciate it. But we are going to have to um, embarrass Dave. Dave and I are friends. We've known each other for a long time, and of course, I have queued up his video now for everybody who is on um, the Zoom call. You're not going to be able to hear it, but for those of you
Okay,
who
I already
aren't,
did. I already cried.
if you
It's
haven't
cool.
you haven't seen if you haven't seen this, Dave cries for 16 minutes and 3 seconds.
Are we gonna play all of
No,
that?
Mango
Wow.
Smasher, are you
no,
hearing me in
yeah.
the background right now?
no, we're
I
not.
was gonna I was gonna stick up for the man, but 16
So
minutes is a long
I
time.
you
didn't
I
know
think
that.
it was more like
I
20,
didn't even know that
22.
he was having a bad day and that he suffers from health conditions. That's nuts.
like you
That is
literally
nuts. You
brought
know
him
what?
to
All the more
tears
reason.
on the internet, which is just beautiful. And Dave is a beautiful person too, which is why I'm so
Dave
happy.
Dave is really cool.
And Sir Redeemer 117, it's folks like you who keep the hobby alive. So much respect. You have my son.
So if you haven't seen the video of Dave wax on, it's called "The Wargamer That Broke Dave." It's
Yeah.
all about Mango Smasher, and what he does and how he does it, and it's a beautiful video. Um, and so I thought that I would share the time that I brought Dave to tears. Now this was secret, and I will tell you there is actually video of it, which I promised to keep secret. So many of you may know that Dave and I made the Rangers movie.
Right.
But
Hmm.
while we were doing the Rangers movie, my significant other thought that it would be really fun to take his character Drewston, and we would have an artist commission paint Dave a portrait essentially of himself in costume, right? And then we would present him this painting. So we got the painting done, and we got it just in time for Adepticon. And he and the Mini Wargaming team were coming up from Adepticon. Unfortunately, something happened with their hotel room where it either didn't get booked or they got kicked out or something. So the first night before Adepticon, like the whole Mini Wargaming crew crashed at my place, and so we thought it would be really fun to just hang his picture upstairs. And then when we gave him a house tour, he would just run across a picture of himself uh, as his character, and then we would give it
Did
to
you
him.
put it in the bathroom?
We didn't put it in the bathroom. We put it in the upstairs hallway. And I set up a camera, and I thought that he would just be like, oh, this is cool, like thank you. He cried like he cried on this video of him crying. He was so appreciative. So I can tell you, Mango Smasher, with all honesty and humility, that those tears from Dave that you brought to his face are legitimate tears. He is just that kind of person that when he sees something beautiful and giving, it literally makes him cry. So you should be very proud.
Can I throw something in there real fast, Aaron? I'm going to anyway. We here at the CGN crew are big fans of real emotions and actual real human beings and not social construct garbage. So this is not in any way, shape to shame anyone or make fun of people.
Absolutely
This
not.
is because we thought it was cool, and this is the kind of shit that we need in life to get past the fucked up stuff.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Now,
I'm-
did you play the video already? Because we couldn't watch it.
I played a portion of the video. Yeah.
Okay.
I played a portion of it.
Check our chat real quick in Facebook for a second.
In Facebook. Oh, ATVs. This is going to be a great video because I want them LO. Zydan, hey, Starhawk. My first miniature pasting experience was repainting the Wizards of the Coast Star Wars miniatures back in like 2005. I missed that game. Is that what you're looking for?
No, read our Facebook chat real quick.
Oh, did you send me something privately?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I have a private message from Josh.
oh no.
Star Wars miniatures game. What? That's not. Oh no, not the original card game. The miniatures, right? Do they even really support that game? I don't think that they did.
Which one?
The one from like 15 years ago.
That's
All
still
I remember.
real big.
Is it not
Yeah.
Legion?
Dice Dojo actually ran a couple tournaments, and they were super big. People brought these giant collections in.
Yeah.
Wait, for which game?
The
Oh,
old
the
Star
the
Wars game.
the Star Wars game before Legion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where all the models were like slightly too squat.
Yes, that's the correct one.
That game I couldn't play that game because of the way they sculpted those models. I was like there's no way. I love Star Wars, but there's no way I'm playing this game.
Boy. Mango, do you play any actual tabletop games, or are you more of a painter?
I play 30k, 40k, Kings of War, Lord of the Rings. I'm currently going into Armada and another 12 to 15 different game systems.
Yes.
Okay, so you are not
Yes.
just a painter.
Sean and I play Armada. We love
I
Armada.
like Armada. Okay, guys, important Bob Ross stuff, right?
Yeah,
Bob
right.
Ross.
Okay.
You want to see the magic?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of far. It's kind of far away.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
The
okay.
magic in this picture is your butt.
Oh, really?
That's better.
It is
Suck.
magical. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah, no,
That
it is.
was the magic. You know, it happened for a second. It's over.
Are you painting happy clouds, or are you painting terrified leaves?
I'm gonna really try to paint happy clouds, and it's not gonna work out the way I want it to. Because contrary to what you may think, I'm a terrible painter.
I have a Sean original painting on the
You do.
other side of the wall from here, and I love my Sean original.
Should have painted your wife a dark angel.
Here's a funny.
You're not bad at those.
Here's a funny real life story about Sean. Sean and I went to college together, and we lived in a house with a bunch of other people. And at that time, pretty much all Sean did was draw, paint, watercolor, whatever, army men. That's all he would do. That's all he would draw and paint. It didn't matter what the project was or what the assignment was.
I'd find a way.
He would turn it into how to paint an army man.
Like a green army man?
Yeah, like a green, army man.
man.
Like a green standard army
Like
man.
from the dollar store or the grocery store?
Just in general military paraphernalia centered around army peoples.
I did like a series of like Abram tanks and IFVs in crayon on construction paper.
Yeah.
Like like that type of shit.
And so
Love
we
it.
were all making fun of him because we were like, like you're gonna get out of art school and you're not gonna get a job and blah blah
Which
blah.
was true anyway.
Well, which
No,
was
I
true
had
anyway.
a job. It just.
Which
And
was
you
true
know
anyway.
what? No,
But
my first job out of college was related to art.
I know, and
Right.
not only was it related to art, it was related to a company who had hired a video game company to make training simulators for the military. So his entire portfolio of having only drawn army men for 4 years
It worked out.
not only meant he was the first person to get a job, but he was the first person to get a job relating to the things that he was actually doing in school.
So are you telling the story
Nice.
just because you're jealous?
100% everybody was jealous. So far the snap fit is going well. Everything seems to be fitting
Now, are we
snappily.
sure it's not a Skaven?
Okay.
It's not escaping.
Okay, Mango.
Mango, that's a little bit joke
Okay.
that goes back a couple months.
So I was working on a Gene Stealer army, and I had what was supposed to be the Gene Stealer on a bike who's a sniper.
Yeah.
Jackal Alphas, Alpha Jackal, something
Jackal
like that.
Alpha, yeah. And I was putting it together, and I was complaining that GW instructions are the dumbest instructions in the world. And
I think Forge World win on that one.
Forge World are even worse, but at least
Yeah.
Forge World is attempting that garage cast motif, so you expect them to have bad instructions. Games Workshop is more along the level of Lego, so you would expect it to have decent instructions. And I'm sitting here and I've glued two pieces together and I'm complaining about it. Mind you, I have glued two pieces together now and am complaining about how bad the instructions are. Turns out the model inside of it was a Skaven. It wasn't even a Gene Stealer.
Not even the right game.
It wasn't even the right game. And it took me a full 20 minutes to realize that I was not even assembling the correct model.
So, yada yada later. Aaron has a Skaven army now.
Yes.
That's how they get you. They just send you the wrong model. You're like, well, now I have a new army to start.
Yeah, I have one model from this army assembled incorrectly because I was trying to make it match instructions that didn't work for. Therefore, now I need $2,000 worth of Skaven models. Obviously. By the way, the push fit just saved my butt because I forgot to put on a piece, and I could just take it apart.
Oh, see, that's another perk right there.
Yeah.
If you forget steps on this Lego instruction set, you were just talking about how easy it was. You can just pop it, unpop it. And then do it again.
It is shameful for how long I've been building models that I don't know if I'm really actually the only person who struggles. I think I'm just more vocal about it. I think we all could be more honest about how difficult sometimes putting models together can be.
Not really, bro.
I don't use instructions. I just don't use instructions. It's just easy that way. Put it in a box, give it a shake with some glue, and you're done.
He's like,
it.
Mango's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for having me, but I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, we got Mini Wargaming Studios leaving us a comment. Let's see what Mini Wargaming's saying. The amazing painting now hangs in my living room. It was truly one of the most thoughtful gestures and friends have ever done. Oh, you're talking about the painting. When I saw the painting, I felt like I was seeing pure kindness manifested through colors on canvas. I suppose that's why beautiful art moves us. Oh, Dave, you're so beautiful and fantastic.
Beautiful.
Waxing poetic. I love
Wow, that's probably
the
one of the
IQ of our channel just went up by like 15.
And I also am glad that there is written evidence that I didn't lie.
Why do you have to be worried about that, Aaron? Does that happen a lot?
We're gonna have to take a commercial break. This episode brought to you by Tesseré, established in 1720. It's Le Syrup. This time it is peach flavored. We are brought to you by peach flavored French syrup. this evening
Nice.
That you drink.
that you drink that still has
I
the
just want to point that out because here in America we eat a lot of horrible shit, but we don't drink syrup. Leave that to the Canadians and
Whoa,
this
whoa.
company.
and I love and just it has the same instructional issues where it just shows a cup with a little bit of syrup plus a cup with a lot of water that
Yeah.
equals a cup that has pink water. It does not actually give you any ratio of
That makes
mixing.
Yeah, a
no
cup is not a
sense.
cup.
That makes no sense.
It's just a vessel.
It's just a vessel. It's an urn. Mm. It's delicious.
Delicious
The
urn.
peach is better than strawberry. I will say that. Which
Really?
oh yeah, it's 100% better. And so my dad's like, I'm like, oh dad, that strawberry syrup was great, but it's over. He was like, oh, I'm gonna send you peach next. I'm like, awesome. And he goes, oh, peach is even better. It's my favorite. And I'm like, dad, why did you start with the strawberry if the peach was better?
Because he drank it all. And he's like, oh, I got this left over. You can have
Yeah,
that.
you got the
Pretty-
leftovers.
Pretty much. I feel like that's probably the case.
But sometimes leftovers are good. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially from your parents when you don't have to pay for them. No complaints there. So, Mango, what got you started on the streaming?
So I started streaming 2 years ago. No, it was about 2 years ago. And I had a few friends that were streaming, and they were like, "Oh, you should try it out." And then I basically done it as a joke to start off with, just a big laugh, just hanging out with friends. I started off streaming PlayStation games, and then I've been miniature painting now almost a year on the platform.
Ooh.
Nice. What PlayStation games were you streaming?
Monster Hunter, Final Fantasies, sort of that sort of style game. I was 100% running games and seeing how quick I could complete them. Just pulling
Oh, so
ridiculous
you were
speed on hours.
doing speed runs. You were a speed runner.
I wasn't so much a speed runner. I was just seeing how quick I could get through like certain sections of the game. Never attempted like a full speed run.
You're very diplomatic. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I started off as a bit of a joke, and then December 2019, I started getting more and more people in, and I just took it seriously from there, pretty much.
And then you're like, sorry, I'm done with video games. Now I'm gonna paint miniatures.
Pretty much. I basically said the moment I get a PC, that's it. It's miniature painting the whole way, and then just stuck at it since.
Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. And you live stream how many times a week?
I live stream Monday to Friday, 10 hours a day.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. Every day.
Every day, 10 hours a day, and then sometimes I do a cheeky 4-5 hours on the weekend.
Wow.
Because, if that's not enough.
Wow. That is
That's
impressive.
dedication.
That is impressive.
So how many people are on your production company? Because a 10-hour stream, my God, you have people like hosing you down. Do you what do you do for bathrooms? I mean, do you just recycle it into your paint water cup or
I
have
pretty
real
much
questions.
I pretty much just take out of those 10 hours maybe half an hour to an hour break. That's about it. But just essentially just do BRBs.
It's 31 minute really fast breaks.
Yeah, basically.
It's just like he's like, I'll be right back.
Oh, so it's like you work for Amazon.
Pretty much.
Oh, Amazon. Okay, so far we are on step 2 of 8, and press fit is fitting well. It's still
So 24 minutes, you're 2 of 8?
Hey, it's easy to build, not quick to build.
All right, fair enough.
Red Green 09 says can't have type 2 diabetes. No, do not drink the syrup. It is not. Please do not drink the syrup as the syrup. Okay? Follow the instructions of some random amount of syrup to water.
I'd be the one that after like a long stream just casually just pick the bottle up and drink it and then realise afterwards, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Well, you know what? I've been mixing it with Sprite, and oh my god, it's so good.
So you got sugar.
It's so good when you mix it with Sprite.
Your pancreas is like, no, he's doing it again.
Yes. This coming from the person who only drinks Diet Coke.
His
Yeah.
favorite thing about Paris was a 32-ounce.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I've been drinking something other than Diet Coke lately.
Oh my, what is it? Cherry
Diet
Diet Coke.
Coke.
Cherry Diet Coke.
I have been drinking watered down
Oh wow, there's water in the name.
diet iced tea at a 1-to-3 ratio.
Why?
That's very specific.
I want to. Why?
Yeah,
Because
what
for some reason, diet tea,
Uh-huh.
diet iced tea, is too sweet for me. So I have to like tone it down.
Is it a different? Do you think it's a different sweetener, or is it just a different amount of sweetener?
I don't know what it is. Maybe I can just tolerate less sweetness in diet tea.
That's interesting. No carbonation.
No carbonation. I've been doing like every other to try to slow down my Diet Coke intake.
I mean, your Diet Coke intake is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's drastically reduced now.
That's why I bought some Coca-Cola stock way back after we first met.
Just because of Josh.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, this is definitely on the up and up.
So when I was in art school, I did a class with a company called IDEO, and IDEO is a design company. I don't know if they're big now, but they used to be big then. They used to work on a bunch of crazy projects. But one of IDEO's tasks was they were hired by a company like 7-Eleven that's not 7-Eleven, and their job was to figure out how to get the person who buys that large, 64-ounce jug of soda to drink even more soda. Like that's the type of stuff that they were tasked
I think
with
just
figuring
make the
out.
cup bigger.
That'll do it.
I mean, as long as it fits in your cup holder in your like Ford Bronco.
It doesn't even have to fit in your cup holder.
It doesn't.
I don't I don't think the current one does fit in the cup holder.
Usually, I mean, it's like a vase that sits on top of like like a pint glass bottom, so that it just fits in there. And then, it's something that you have to pick up with two hands and drink like Trump.
No, there was so 7-Eleven specifically when I was like the very beginning of college had some sort of huge like insulated mug.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And it was awesome because you'd roll up, fill that thing up, it'd be cold the entire time you needed to. It was like 64 ounces of soda.
Yeah,
so
no,
really like
Nice.
it was like a significant amount to go, hang out and do whatever nerdy shit you were gonna do.
Well,
Like Dungeons and
Josh
Dragons, right? Bathroom breaks, but you don't have to go to the store.
Josh had it figured out even so much that he knew like which fast food restaurants
Josh had a system.
like large drink gave the best value of Diet Coke per like container size.
Okay,
That's going into real detail.
that's bonkers.
I'm a connoisseur too, because not everyone's Diet Coke tastes the same.
I will agree with that.
Yes. So not only did it have to have the right taste, but it also had to have the right cost per volume ratio.
That's right. We don't mess around these parts.
What is your drink of choice, Mango?
For me, it's chai tea
Oh,
I can get behind some chai tea.
yeah.
with like 2 tablespoons of sugar in it, just to sweeten it up a little bit.
It's funny. It's a you say chai tea, and then it immediately makes me want Thai iced tea, which is completely different.
And
but it's
funny enough,
but it's what
it also automatically has Alexa order them both.
Does Alexa have an English accent in England?
God, I hope so.
I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know.
But okay, but hypotheticals.
Sure.
Would you want her to? Right? I mean, because like, if you gave me an Alexa and we're like, okay, thick Eastern European accent, I would be a little,
like,
questioning of that, right?
but is
I'd be like,
Alexa manufactured in Eastern European?
I have no idea where Alexa is
I have no
manufactured.
idea.
She's a imaginary construct made out of electrons
Go
flowing
into your
between
Alexa app.
on-off switches.
You can change the language. So
You can. Ours speaks in a male voice now.
Too
Yeah.
threatened by the
Up.
female Alexa
It's
voice.
you know what that
Time.
bell means.
It's time.
Oh,
It's time for Sean to take his medicine.
see, I was
That's
smart
like-
and checked mine before.
No,
there you go.
Sean refuses to turn the alarm off.
We don't have many
Refuses.
segments on this show.
But one of the
Sean taking medicine is.
But one of our segments is Sean taking medicine. It's very important. Oh, gee whiz. All right, so let's actually get to a real topic. We've been faffing around for quite a while.
wait,
Yeah.
look it.
What am I looking
a
at?
black ship red.
Great. Was it one that you could buy red and you're just painting it black?
No, this is the Kylo Ren silencer that only comes black, but it has two different sizes. One ginormous and one very tiny, even though it's the same ship. This is the.
What is it like Ant-Man? Like
No,
Wait.
shrink?
So what happened was when X-wing first made the ship, because things were so hush hush for the sequels, they were only given like a description of the ship and didn't know the size of the ship, so they had to make it a model for it blind. And it turned out it's a much smaller ship than they thought it was. So when 2.0 came, they actually made a model that is the correct size for the ship.
Oh,
That's
so
funny. You'd think with, like NDAs.
the first model is too big.
That's correct. The first is too big, but they still made it fit on the right base size. But the new one is smaller and is on the is the right ratio.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I never put that together, I'll be honest.
Yep.
That it was too big.
Well, you probably would have glued yourself to it. If you did.
Oh my god.
Does that happen a lot then? I'm
I
guessing?
haven't glued myself to anything yet tonight.
Because you're not using glue.
Well, you know.
But there's the big word, yet.
Yeah. Even without glue, he'll find a way.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself pinched in between two parts that won't unpinch. So the big news this week, obviously, other than Mango making Dave cry, is that Magic the Gathering and Games Workshop, more specifically Hasbro and Games Workshop, are forming a partnership in the same spirit that Games Workshop has done with McFarlane Games and that Magic the Gathering has done with Walking Dead, and they are coming out with both Lord of the Rings and Warhammer 40K Magic cards.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm super excited about it. It's gonna be a separate kind of set from the regular card game that they have. But I mean,
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because it's in the article. It's going to be part of their like.
You think it's going to be the
extended
secret?
realm
You think it's going to be the secret layer?
No. They said that there's going to have a commander deck specifically for Magic. And then who knows what they're actually going to do with it, but it's going to be more than just a secret layer.
Hmm.
So
It's
let
going to
me.
be Ultramarines. Your commander's going to be Robo Girly Man.
I have questions.
course.
I have questions for Josh
Okay.
because I don't even know how Magic works anymore
Oh my
nowadays.
god.
The article that I read said that they were looking at making some sort of set, right? Which I assume is what you're referring to as this dungeon and a commander deck, right? So, A, is that correct? B, how does this, I mean, are you going to be able to draft
Well,
Warhammer?
that's
Yeah.
what I was getting at. So
Oh, okay.
Magic typically comes out in their core sets, right? So they have a yearly core set for those of you who don't play Magic. That is the date, right? So it'll be Magic 2020, Magic 2021. Then they come out with a 3-set block that's usually all on the same theme, right? It'll be like
Desert.
steampunk or dinosaurs or whatever. And a typical full cycle will be 3 sets before the core set and 3 sets after the core set. Now, Magic has realized that they can sell a lot more cards than just the base cards that go into the game that you would call standard Magic. Um, and I and so they've started coming out with other formats. And one of the big formats is called Commander. Now, the main rule with Commander is that you can play with any card from any set ever. You make a 100 card deck, but you can only have one copy of each card, with the exception of I think like 4 or 5 banned cards. So then Magic started coming out with Commander only cards, which included both reprints and new cards. On top of that, they started coming out with things called Modern Masters, which is reprints of famous cards. And then they started coming out with even more rare and exclusive collector's edition cards, one of which is known as the Secret Lair. And the Secret Lair is a website that you have to go to that's run by Magic. Every couple of months, it'll pop up and it'll say, okay, we're going to come out with a new theme. And you can pre order these 5 to 12 cards total. That's it. 5 to 12 cards that are in this theme. The last major theme that made big news was that they brought characters from The Walking Dead into Magic the Gathering. However, those characters were not standard legal. They were only legal in Legacy and in Commander. So the question is, are they going to be making a full 360 card or 280 card core set dedicated to Warhammer, where you're going to be able to have all these different factions and get all the cool different stuff from across the Warhammer spectrum? Or is it just going to be like a limited release 5 to 10 card Secret Lair set?
Well, in the article, it says specifically there will be a commander deck for Warhammer 40K.
And so if that's it, then all you're gonna get is you're gonna get three legendary creatures that are gonna be foils, and then you're gonna get some sort of land that may be specific to the 40K Empire, or it may be standard Magic land, and then you are going to get 63 cards related to Warhammer, and it will only be playable in Commander.
Well, they said specifically that that is what's coming, but they didn't specify if that's the only thing that's coming.
Right. They did not
And
specify
they,
that's the only thing that's coming. That's the point that I'm getting at.
yeah, and they also are retroactively putting the Walking Dead cards into the same branch of it of that magic.
And I don't know what that means.
So
Nor do I.
I'm saying I forget the name of it. If someone could look it up while I'm talking, basically it's like the extended Magic universe that specifically is not legal for standard.
So it's just like, yeah, it's a new format, but it's based on a third cross marketing.
I guess
So
it's
it's a bit like open play.
Exactly. And so what's going to happen is that those cards can all be played together. It's basically them exploring different
but
realms and different
but the
fandoms.
problem with that is that they came out with a whole actual standard legal thing that included Mothra and Godzilla in a standard core set.
Well, those are all alt arts, and none of the cards are specifically
What do you mean they're
that.
alt?
And
They're alt arts. Mothra is not alt art. It is Mothra.
And if you look underneath, it says the card's actual name on all of those cards. So it's
Okay,
not
hold on.
actually
So
Mothra.
so hold on, Josh. So what you're saying is that there was a card that they put the title Mothra on, but it was really the Black Paladin of Doom
That's
from the
correct.
standard Magic
So
set.
basically, it's a skin for a different card.
Oh, okay. Well, that's bougie as hell. So
Yeah, it's a skin.
Now,
Now,
I was not aware of that, but okay.
yeah.
okay, I
So-
hope that's not what they do with this, because I will be disappointed
No.
from
This
afar.
is specifically the Walking Dead cards are specifically Walking Dead. The 40K ones will be specifically 40K. The Lord of the Rings one will be specifically Lord of the Rings.
But
Okay,
the-
so my next question, again, as a person who doesn't know shit about Magic, can I take my Warhammer 40K deck and murder your elves?
Of course.
if
As
it
long
if
as I
it
can
is
take my deck and play against you and murder your elves, I'm happy.
if it is
Anything
commander
gets in the way.
legal, if it's commander legal, then yes, you will be able to do that.
Yeah, and any pickup game totally legal to do.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
Well, hey, I'm cool
I
with
mean,
that.
that's
You know, I'm all about the narrative shit.
that Josh saying that is kind of like saying any pickup game of 40K you can do is legal and you can do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
don't worry about points or power level.
But that's what Sean does anyways.
Well, I know that's what Sean does, but that's not what
Answer his
people
question in
do.
his world.
That is
Isn't-
not what most people do. We do.
Isn't that how you run a tutorial game? Just get them to pick a few nice things and go take something cool, and then off you go.
That's literally how I do tutorial games for people. Like people will come into shops, or at least when I TO'd, and they'd come into shops and they'd be like, "I have these 2,000, these 2,000 points of miniatures, and I'm gonna fight my buddy, and he's got 2,000 points of miniatures, and this is our first game." And I'm like, "You guys are stupid. Pick 6 models and play your first game."
And call them
Also play
call them
2K
all
armies.
Mothra.
Yeah.
And call them all Mothra because that makes a lot of fucking sense.
I can't remember the last time I played a 2K game.
Well, and now I play Apocalypse, so pretty much the only thing I go and do is Apocalypse, and we're talking 4,000 point armies at a minimum with a ton of flexibility and just
Oh.
wacky stuff.
I
So-
played 10K minimum.
Really?
Pretty intense.
Yeah.
Oh, I like you.
So the dude on the back of the ATV does not press fit. I just smash update. He does not press fit. Like he press
Well,
fit.
you're gonna have to glue something.
I am
You're
gonna.
in the danger zone.
I'm gonna have to trim pins and I'm gonna have to glue. This is very upsetting.
Well, we
So
might as well end the
so-
stream here.
So Mango, I want to go back to important things that I like.
Okay,
Yep.
go ahead.
Mango, so when you're talking 10,000 points, are you talking like for yourself against another player, or are you talking as part of another larger Apocalypse game where you have 5 or 10 people on each team, all with 10,000 points?
10,000 per player. I'm going to be doing a game with a friend of mine who, in April, hopefully, if all things calm down, we're doing around about 40,000 points on the table between 2 of us.
Oh.
Nice.
And it accumulates to around about 3,000 miniatures.
How big is your table?
My current one of my biggest projects at the minute, it currently fills an entire 6x4, so we need like a 12x8, something like that, just to play a game.
So, yeah, no kidding, man, no kidding. How long does something like that take you with 40,000 points total? Because I'm trying to do math over here, and I think on average we're looking at about 4,000 per player. We normally do like 16 players, so 70 something thousand. But we use 3 full-size tables connected to each other, sometimes 4.
For me, when it comes to like Age of Sigmar, we can knock out 10,000 point games anywhere between 16 20 hours. 40K can be around about 24 to 30 hours.
And do you still only allot a 30-minute bathroom break for that time frame?
Sometimes we just get a bucket in the corner and we're off.
Yeah, you can do that with 40K.
Yeah. Just takes so long.
Oh, it makes me miss Adepticon.
Yeah, no, but I mean that's one of the big things
buckets.
with the large apocalypse armies, right? Because once you've collected for 20 years or however long you've collected and built up a gigantic army,
4 years.
4 years, it's really really nice to be able to field 100 Terminators. We do try to keep our games to a shorter length, but that's awesome, man. I very rarely run into someone who regularly plays large good apocalypse.
Are you playing with the apocalypse rules or are you playing with the 9th ed rules?
That's another good question.
We actually play custom rules.
Or do you play with hold on, wait. Let me do that again. Let me start over. Do you play with the apocalypse rules, with the 9th ed rules, or do you play custom rules?
We play 9th ed custom rules.
Excellent.
Wait, let's start over.
I have real questions. You guys suck. No, but so when we're saying that, right, because they released a new Apocalypse box set, and our group specifically voted not to use the new box set. They didn't want to switch dice. They didn't want to go through that, and we really like being able to use new models that are released, all those fun things, the moment they come out, right? So are you using any of that new boxed set in your custom rules?
No, not at all. I actually do something similar to how like many board games do their campaigns. So I sit with 2, 3 people, depending on how many people are playing game. We write up custom terrain tables, environmental effect tables, like whether barbarians show up on a certain turn, and we bring in like so many different things into one game, and it just makes it quite amusing sometimes.
Nice.
So are you more of a I understand you play a lot of different game systems. I think we all
Yes.
understand that. But in terms of what games you're actually playing the most on the table, what are you mostly playing? Age of Sigmar?
Age of Sigma, mainly. Um, but at the same time, I still play some Heresy when I can get games in.
Well,
But when you
don't tell the Emperor.
well, I actually play Thousand Sons and Custodians.
Okay, well you can tell the Emperor.
Thousand Sons as like rebels or like loyalists?
I actually play them as rebels, essentially in 30k, but then I play them as loyalists in 40k.
Fun. I like it.
How's your paint?
Yeah.
How's your painting coming?
Yeah, it's coming along quite well. I've now swapped over to Northern Alliance Clansmen from Kings of War.
Excellent.
I finished all my bases, so now I'm working on some Terminators.
All right, so you paint
Nice.
10 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Well,
365 days a year. Nope, you can't take it back. That's what you said. How many models did you paint in 2020?
in 2020, I painted around about 1,000 the tabletop.
There you go, Aaron.
Son.
There you go, Big
all right,
Aaron.
well,
Um,
yeah.
I can
Crushed.
average.
You've been
200
crushed.
Well, I can actually. So I challenged myself the day before Indominus got released, and I was like, "How many miniatures can I paint in 12 hours?" And I ended up painting 260 miniatures, fully base coated, washed, highlights, layer, your standard stuff. And I actually done that on a stream as well. That was quite amusing.
It's awesome.
Did
Yeah,
you do
he's
that at the
insane.
stream at the same time that all those other people were doing the 24-hour streams?
I had no idea people were doing it.
Oh, okay.
But when you own 4,500 miniatures, you sort of got a lot of playroom.
Yeah, I think I got about 260 painted in total last year. Big Aaron got about 360. Josh gave up and he played Diablo knockoff all year.
Oh yeah,
Um,
where's all your characters in Diablo? Well, we'll ask about that later. Continue, Aaron.
so that's amazing. That is a lot of miniatures. I wish
It is really
That is a
impressive.
lot.
I
I
wish
got
one day to crack 1,000.
12, 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah, but for you that's impressive.
I mean, a bolter takes like 5 days.
It's true.
Paulie Knox says, "LOL, this is fun, but extra high to Mango Smasher as I am in Newcastle, UK."
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
So Paulie is a good friend. I know Paulie through Miranda, Wargamer Girl, and he has been kind enough to be one of our patrons, as well as I forced him to be a moderator, uh, which is
Yep.
which is why he has the wrench.
Your money's not enough here.
So yeah, our two moderators are Big Aaron and Paulie has no choice. So thank you, Paulie, for being a moderator.
We appreciate your forced service.
Of course, normally there's not enough people to need his services, but we like having a moderator anyways.
Yeah.
It's like having a bouncer at the bar, and there's only like one old guy in there.
It does feel like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Okay, another problem. The Gatling gun tip does not. So like the Gatling gun itself is two pieces that get press fit together. They press fit fine, but they do not hold tight enough for the tip of the Gatling gun, which has all of the holes. Which, by the way, Sean, you'll appreciate they are drilled holes
That is one of my favorite things about current models is that they really pay attention
to the holes.
to the holes in the barrels.
It does require glue. It does
Have
require
you
glue.
thought about shaving like the outside of it so then it slides in a bit easier?
No, it slides in just fine. It doesn't have enough.
It's not tight
what-
enough to stay.
It's not tight enough to stay. Yes.
So it's a
There's no
loose one.
tension.
It's a loose one. So I'm gluing this one. So this will be the third piece that I've glued. 0 to my fingers. Thank you, internet.
So I think the most important thing that we've learned from this is if a bad thing happens and you do less of whatever you did right before the bad thing happened, you're less likely to get the bad thing. So do less shit that could lead to bad things, and generally you'll be better.
Essentially, what you're saying is that Aaron should build press fit models. He should be limited
Yeah.
only to press
Just
fit
press fit.
models.
No, I'm just saying if you have a problem with gluing your fingers together, not that you do it often, but that you don't like that you do it often, you should consider this.
But both of those things happen.
Oh.
I'm not judging anyone. I'm just trying to lay out the data so that we can all grow from this experience.
Okay.
All right.
On that note, let's lay out some other data. Atomic
Oh
mass.
God.
Atomic mass. For those of you who follow Marvel Crisis Protocol, Josh,
And X-Wing.
and X-Wing. We got a new line of models coming out for Atomic Mass, and finally, it's the models that I care about. We got Deadpool coming out,
Yeah.
who's
Very
a
cool model.
very, very, very cool model. We got Luke Cage coming out. We have Iron Fist, and then I think we have the greatest model that's ever been put out ever, and it's called Bob, Agent of Hydra, and it's just a dude holding a rocket launcher giving a thumbs up.
Nice.
That's cool, buddy.
And this is
That's
by
cool, that's
far
cool.
by far my favorite
cool.
thing that I have ever heard of existing in Marvel.
Oh, apparently he comes in. Okay, I get it. He comes in the box with Deadpool. So you get
Damn it. Okay.
you get Deadpool. You get a chimichanga truck as a piece of terrain. And you get a rocket launcher, and then Deadpool himself is jumping off of the rocket that the rocket guy fired.
Yeah, now he comes with multiple
Hats.
heads,
He comes with multiple hats. Oh my God, the
Bob does?
the Bob,
multiple torso.
Bob, the Agent of Hydra comes with a chef hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
That is pretty
Tactical
cool. That's pretty
chef
cool.
hat.
A tactical
Okay.
chef hat.
So I
Deadpool
never
actually
thought I was
comes
going to
with
say these words,
multiple-
but how much does a box of those stupid things cost?
We don't know.
Typically
Are they different? They vary.
They're
no,
typically,
it's the
but this
same.
comes with
It's the
a
same
piece of
price
terrain.
as GW, except instead of getting 10 models, you get one. So you're spending
Yeah.
the same amount of
So
money. You're
60
just getting
bucks.
less. Yeah.
So it's about like 30,
That
40
doesn't
quid.
work for my. That doesn't make my miniature per model.
No.
Calculations happy.
Your miniature per model calculations are definitely not happy with Marvel Crisis Protocol. But anyways, Marvel Crisis Protocol has a bunch of other new stuff. Josh, you can talk about the other characters who I don't know nor care about. Like, what's a Domino? I like Cable. I know who that is. I don't know who Sin is. I don't know who Viper
Sin.
is. If they
He's,
had, okay, Mango, you tell us who's Sin.
If it's the Sin that I'm thinking of, there was some guy that made a deal with the devil or something. Just went around with collecting souls. But I could be completely wrong.
I think it's the one that's like the daughter of Red Skull, because it's a Hydra. So she's a Hydra person. The other person that comes with her is Madam Hydra. But who knows? It's Marvel, so there's probably like 5 different things for him. I would like to go back to the Deadpool Bob thing because both of those characters have tons of different things. So Deadpool has multiple legs, he's got multiple heads. You can almost make a whole second Deadpool out of it. He has a word that is like the comic words in Batman that he can write on with his rocket as well.
Yeah, so the rocket has smoke coming out. The smoke attaches to the base, and above the smoke it says "Fwoosh" for those of you who can't see it. And then he's like ballerina dancing off the rocket with his sword with his swords out.
Some people will not like that, and they're not here for cool humor, so they don't have to use that, and there's other options.
That could be me, Josh.
You don't have to worry about line of sight, so that swoosh is not going to alter gameplay at all.
So I did
This
it.
is true.
I have completely built this push fit model.
Oh.
I had to glue 3 pieces. I had to cut and glue the torso of the guy in the back. I had to glue the tip of the gun, and I had to glue the backpack on. It wouldn't stay. Otherwise, everything else is push fit. It seems pretty stable at the moment.
Until you drop it.
Until you drop it. I will say that the top piece does not seamlessly interact with the bottom piece, so it definitely does need to be glued. So I will set this one aside, and I will begin work on my second one, but this one I will be gluing the entire thing as one should normally do anyways, and we'll see how many times I mess it up.
Okay, I'm excited.
So,
gonna be fun.
Now,
8TV number 2.
You mentioned dropping it, and since it's not glued together,
I'll drop
I can
it.
only
Listen,
picture
I'm going to drop it on camera right now. I'm going to drop it.
it's going to burst into a million pieces.
If it does, it's going to be quite amusing.
It only one piece fell off.
I really wanted to like explode and shrapnel go in your eyes. Maybe
Um,
get like
everywhere.
a tire lodged up your nostril.
But it did break that piece, and I have to glue it on. So if that's any consolation, it did not completely fly apart. Like I said, it's pretty solid. Like it's not. It's. I mean, I've put together a lot of push fit kits, but I've never actually attempted to put them together without any glue. So.
And hey, just drop it like 60 more times, and
Yes.
it'll be like installment payments with glue. Just every time you drop it, you'll just have to glue one of the pieces on.
Nice. So Aaron, my question is, how do you feel about the model now that you've built it? Right, there's a
Love it.
ton
I
of
love it.
scuttlebutt
I
about
love
hating
them.
it.
I love
Some
it.
people still hate it. That's how I felt. I was not happy with it, and then I built the model, and I was like, this is actually really cool. You get it in your hands. There's some neat stuff. There's some stuff I don't like about it. I'm sure that we've talked about that plenty. But the point is, now that I've built one, I no longer hate it. I don't think it's a Mario Kart.
I heard it. I heard
like-
aside from Mango. What happened?
Oh, tell us, Mango. Tell us. We do like different opinions.
The model's good,
But
but unfortunately, I just can't unsee the Mario theme with it.
I think so. So I had a thought about this, right? Because Aaron said he was going to do this. I built mine, and I'm still working on the base and stuff. But I think a lot of that has to do with the super static, boring, lame-ass positioning of the driver and the gunner. There's no movement at all
no,
in the model.
there's not.
None. So you have to build that yourself. I did a bunch of shit and kit bashed mine and cut things, and it turned out really, really well. And
No,
I'm very
if you
happy
if
with
you
it.
like
But,
if you turn those wheels 90 degrees and you pivot the Gatling gun so it's like
Yeah.
30 degrees off center, and then you have the driver like leaning over like he's like pushing G's, right? Like you could make it look a lot more dynamic for sure.
make it so sick. And how much was the kit? Was it a $45 kit, a $35 kit? I don't remember. Point is, they could have given us more bits, simple arm swaps, simple different torsos that
Yeah, but it's a starter.
there's-
But it's a starter kit.
And it's GW as well. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
So yeah, and sometimes they're like, here, have 5 billion heads. I got one of the new the Eradicator boxes, right? The guys with the meltaguns. Bro, there's like 25 heads in there. 3 dudes. There's literally at least 20 heads on those sprues. So they can give you what you need.
Yeah.
It's just a question of will
How
they.
much did those 3 guys cost?
They were probably, I think, 45.
That's what you paid for your heads.
Yes, but the point is now I have a whole bunch of cool
It's
graphic
$2
armor heads.
$2 per head.
Do whatever I want with.
I don't tend to buy like singular boxes. I'm more of a let's just buy a bunch of the like bigger boxes with multiple things and it's like patrol boxes, starter collectors and stuff like that.
And I totally respect that, and I will not smash on that at all.
Except here I go.
I do, except for I do.
I'm doing it at this moment.
so much kit bashing and stuff like that. I really need the extra little piece.
I mean, what you don't understand, Mango, is that Sean is a good miniature painter. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad miniature painter. I would never ever say that Sean is a bad miniature painter. But Sean is an incredible miniature converter. I don't know what you would call that. The ability
Builder,
Kit basher.
constructor,
the ability
whatever.
to take just like a standard ass Terminator or a standard ass Space Marine and spend the correct amount of time not only sourcing all the different bits, cutting it apart, gluing it back together, and then coming out with something that looks like it was dynamically sculpted intentionally to be doing this thing, like wind blowing through its hair, like it's
Yeah.
Purity seals as we wear our
all of it,
helmets in
yeah,
the 41st millennium.
all of his purity seals with the like facing the right direction, like there's
Yeah.
not some weird cross breeze, right? And then every single Terminator in his Dark Angel army is a unique character with a story, with a unique sculpt. I mean, he really does take it to the nines, which is
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
absolutely fantastic. He
Like,
just then
kit
never
bashing-
paint. He just doesn't paint them. Is the
Yeah.
problem?
Like kit bashing, yeah, like I get behind that 100%. Like I enjoy kit bashing myself.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It's my
I'm just
favorite
very, I'm just very fortunate that if someone is trying to get rid of parts or quitting the hobby, I'm normally the first person that gets called. Hey, so and so's got this. Do you want it? Yeah, cool. I'll be down like in an hour to pick it up.
part. That's an
sort of thing.
awesome place to be in, man. I wish that I got that call when people were getting out of the hobby.
Because
I'm not that
I
cool.
currently have 16 boxes full of bits, and some of these I've at one point I had an entire sprue of sniper rifle scouts, just whole sprues in my bits box because I'm just not using it.
Where do you live again?
He lives in
UK.
An English zip code, please. I'm just
But
messing with you.
that's all right. But like, at the same time, it's like if I have the whole sprues or a complete kit, and I know someone else needs it and essentially can't afford it that month, I'll just send it to them.
That's
So
awesome.
I just pass on everything I get as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder. I don't do that.
when it comes to armies, then I'm a hoarder. But if it's bits, it's like yeah, you can have a couple of bits, sort of thing.
So you're kind of like, let me give you this little tiny bit, and then you get them hooked, right? It's
Yeah.
the first taste is free. You're like, here's a bit
Yeah.
to make your army. Look at this army. You could have that. Here's this one little
Skaven
bit.
in a gene stealer box.
Skaven in a gene stealer box.
Oh my god.
It's a new type of Trojan horse.
I'm so happy that that happened on live stream. Otherwise,
No one would believe you. I wouldn't. I'd be like, Aaron, stop grasping for attention.
go back
So
to
it's like,
go
but I
back to
was there.
TikTok.
There's no way to gaslight me on this one.
So what is your Mango? What is your preferred style? What is your how do you like to paint? Has anything changed over the past couple years in terms of your painting technique or your style of painting?
my tend to go to style. I don't mind doing like your clean, crisp sort of nice lines and all of that sort of stuff. I don't mind doing that, but I prefer getting just nice and dirty with them, making them all grubby, chip paint, all sorts.
Yeah.
And
We're
I've
talking
been
Josh's language.
I've been doing that now for about 2-3 years, and then I started doing a two-step method that I do now all my miniatures. I've been doing that now for around about a year and a half. So I'm able to knock out these large armies in a matter of hours or days, and it is nice when it's all on the tabletop. You know, yeah, that looked good.
We're gonna
and stuff
we're
like
gonna
that.
you
So,
and Josh, man, you and Josh, we're gonna have to get into a competition. We got
So
it.
I want to know this two-step method though.
Yeah.
Or is it super secret?
it's actually
It's so secret he can only stream about it 10 hours a day.
Yeah. No, so the two-step method that I do is I don't count a primer as a step at all.
Cool with
And
that.
then after that, it's literally just base and wash, done. That's your tabletop, and you're ready to go. essentially, and that's how I like it, when I talk to people about the painting. They're like, oh yeah, we really want to do this. It's like, okay, just keep it simple, keep it nice and sweet, and try not to think too much about it. Just paint and see where you go with it, essentially. So it's always a base, then a wash, and then that's your tabletop done. And then obviously, if you want to take it further, you can with like rust effects, highlights, layering up, all of that sort of stuff. Um, but yeah, it's just really simple tips just to really just get your. If you've got a tournament to do on the weekend, you have like a couple of days to paint an army, and yeah, that's just 2 steps done. Tabletop, right? I'm ready to go for that tournament on the weekend, and then go from there. Really.
Are you a tournament player? Do you enjoy tournaments?
Yes. So I ended up started doing the tournaments and events 4 years ago, um, and I just enjoyed the scene of it. I've never took a meta list or anything like that. I'm that type of person that goes to an event, has a laugh, but I'm running a list that's stupid, that doesn't work, but wins everything.
I hate you.
Um,
I'm just kidding. I'm
Definitely,
just
Josh.
kidding.
so one of the biggest sort of laughs I had was I went to a doubles event with a friend. So I supplied the entire 2,000 point army. I painted it all up myself, and we had 3 days to do this. And it was a double brass stampede with 2 slaughter priests, and
It's a lot of
it was just
pressure.
amusing. It was just so amusing because then we went to the tournament, and all 5 games were objective based games.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But we still won all our games, got army votes, and we ended up teaching all our opponents like ways to combat it and stuff like that. So we were also teaching at the same time as being at a tournament.
That
That's
I
pretty
think
great.
team tournaments are my favorite. Partner tournaments and team tournaments are my
Yep.
favorite.
Definitely.
Yeah, those are the way to go. Especially if you or Josh is on my team from now on.
Well, funny enough, so on Friday stream, me and everyone were talking, and then we ended up doing a vote for Team Mango and Team Dave, because I did challenge Dave to a game, and Dave got 49% of the votes. So it was like just by 2%. But now the running joke is essentially if I lose that game, it would be the first game I've lost in 4 years.
You won't. Don't worry. You won't lose to Dave.
If I did, I know like everyone would not they wouldn't let me live it down.
Well, you know he's playing corn,
Yes.
so just stay away.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just.
Fall back and shoot. That's all you need.
I'll be playing Stormcast, but it'll be a fully converted up army.
Oh, you're getting Dave to play Sigmar? Wow.
Possibly. We could be playing Sigma,
Wow.
and if we go 40k, I'll be running a custody sort of heavy. Yeah, I'm just going to remove you from the table sort of style.
No, I'm on board with getting Dave to play Sigmar. At Mini Wargaming, if you're still in the chat, you're playing Sigmar. I command it.
That's what's happening now.
It's happening.
It's happening. But yeah, and I've got plans to go down there and see everyone. At the same time as taking my daughter with me as well, so she gets to experience.
Yeah,
Because she wants to say
it's
wants to say
awesome.
thank you
It's
as well to
awesome.
Dave. So it's like perfect opportunity.
Their new building is incredible, and all their like really awesome little hotel rooms and
Oh
gaming
yeah,
rooms.
I
Like
can't wait to see it in person.
it is a super fun place. And Welland itself, which is the
Mm.
area in Canada where it's at, is really fun because it's like 10-minute drive away from Niagara, and Niagara's like a little mini Vegas. It has, just like all sorts of little casinos and shops and restaurants and fun and tourist attractions. And going to mini wargaming is a treat, and I think Sean would agree with that.
It is on the bucket list to do. So hopefully, once all this pandemic stuff's over with, I can get out there and basically just meet the guys and thank them in person.
Or not, you could just quarantine for 2 weeks, just stay there for a couple months.
That would be great, but I'm pretty sure my daughter's mum would kill me.
Well, sacrifices.
Yep.
Look at everybody. Look at this.
Where are you at? What are you doing?
Oh, that's looking nice.
It was
Ooh.
white. Or it was black, then white. Now it is red and black again.
You're so imaginative. Just for all those people who are watching who are not aware who we are talking to, we are talking to Mango Smasher. You can follow him on Twitch. Apparently, he twitches 10 hours a day, which I did not know.
Yep.
Until we just started talking. So I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
That's just the time people see me paint. Off of stream, I'm actually on Discord calls with mods, everyone, people in the Discord, and I'm actually still painting.
Excellent.
So
Well,
I paint all bar probably maybe 4 hours a day.
so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna post. Your link into the chat. So anybody who's watching, if you want to check out his Twitch, go ahead and check him out. Follow him. Leave him a heart. Do all those fun things. I assume that you're just on Twitch. Do you have a YouTube or anything?
Yeah, we have a YouTube that myself and now 11 others run. We have the Twitch. And yeah, it's just those two really. We do the streaming off of.
I mean, I've been doing this just came across my mind. I've been doing these like hobby challenges. And I've been challenging different people to various challenges. I think we should figure out a challenge between our two channels that would make sense. Um, it'd probably have to be miniature
Yeah.
painting, some sort of like long haul miniature painting,
Yeah.
which does not make me excited, but I would be willing to do it.
Well, funny enough, we actually last year, myself and a few of the other mods, we actually set up a thing called Streamer versus Streamer, where we just randomly rock up into someone's stream and go, "Hey, we challenge you to paint this in this amount of time," and stuff like that. We just recently started up the Collector's Vision as well for another event that we run now. It's going to be seasons, so we run every 6 months now, and it's just for people to start essentially get into the hobby, whether it's starting a new army or just starting a skirmish warband or something like that. It's
Maybe
just to really
I have
bring
an
stuff in.
maybe the four of us could try to outpaint just you in a set period of time.
Well, I'm down for that. I've got to paint
I'm not. I
1,000.
don't want to lose that competition.
Sean,
What's better than beating one person? Beating four people.
Yeah, but this isn't like karate, man.
Well, I've actually so for the collector's vision, it's essentially the first season we're doing that starts in July the 5th. It's paint 1,000 points in 6 months. Myself and one other person, we basically went, cool, we're going to take it to the next level.
1,000 points
so
in a day.
I'm actually painting 1,000 miniatures.
Oh my gosh.
The other guy who's also in it has went, oh screw it, I just paid 6,000 points. Why not?
You are a person of the max. That is for sure. A person of the max.
I don't do things by small. It's kind of ridiculous the amount of stuff I buy, especially when it comes to box sets. I don't just buy that one box set. I buy anywhere up to 10, sort of the same box set.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a completionist myself. When the Indominus came out, I painted 5,000 points of Necrons in 3 months.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we all kind of went crazy when 9th came out.
Yeah, I kind of
we couldn't play.
Yeah, I bought 10 Indominus boxes and then 2 extra sets.
Are you kidding me?
Of Necrons. Nope.
Wow.
And one of the boxes I didn't actually keep. It was given. So my daughter had the choice of any streamer on the platform, and she could give a Indominus to them. And she actually gave it to one of my mods for a Christmas present.
Oh. Man,
so
you're
I
just
bring my daughter into a lot of it.
You're raising your children right. You're painting your miniatures right. You're running your streams right. No wonder Dave cried.
She also does the hobby. So we've got a Let's Play series that we're doing on the YouTube. It's actually with my daughter, where we just sit and I run her through Age of Sigmar, and just going through the Mortal Realms magazines. So it's quite interesting.
It's awesome.
I
That
wish
is-
we
Yeah,
got
it's
those
really
magazines, but that is super cool.
Yeah,
that is really awesome.
I bought 80 issues of #1, so it was 800 chain rasps and God knows how many sequitors.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Why would you do that?
So
why
while
not?
before, yeah, I don't. That's a strange question. That's
Yeah.
just a strange
You
question.
do know what hobby you're in, right?
Oh yeah, good point. I don't know. I guess
Uh,
just 800 chain rasps.
I actually
New-
own 1,000.
Okay, 1,000 chain rasps. Yeah.
I know that Josh painted, what was it, 600 Poxwalkers in a weekend.
Zombicide. I painted like 5 boxes plus like expansions in a day.
Nice.
So not to change the subject, I apologize. We do have some other news to cover
That's all right.
before we get to
15
the
minutes.
end of our stream. There are essentially 3 new sets of X-wing coming out, each that come with 3 different units in each box, and all of these are from the TV show Rebels. So it's the various different ships that were in Rebels, and what's kind of interesting is that like the B-wing and the TIE Advanced in the show, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen the show, it's super old. You should have already seen it by right now. You're watching something about 40K. I'm talking about Star Wars. I'm sorry, I'm about to spoil Star Wars cartoons for you. But these ships were actually destroyed, so they are one of a kind. Which means that in the Star Wars universe, they were prototypes that were never, like, they never saw combat really other than the episodes that they were featured in. But they do carry the special rules and the special cards, and so there are 3 new ones coming out: one for the Rebels, one for the Imperial, and one for Scum, which I think is really cool. I'm a big fan of Phoenix. For those of you who have been watching The Mandalorian or have been watching the movies, they have been doing a really good job of making sure that the cartoons and the TV shows and the movies do have tie-ins, right? So like for example, if you've seen Rogue One and you know who Saul Guerrera is, that's the rebel leader who like defected, right? That they have to go see at the beginning of the movie. They explain Saul Guerrera's backstory in this show, for example. So, if you haven't seen Rebels, it's pretty good, particularly the last couple seasons. I would say the same thing about Clone Wars. You could just might as well start with season 5 or just jump to season 7 and 8. Season 7 and 8 also directly tie into The Mandalorian, which is great if you wanted some more backstory. But if you're just looking for some cool, unique ships to fill out your X-Wing army, there are 3 new box sets that are available from Fantasy Flight. I'm definitely going to be picking them up because not only do I like the stories of those particular ships, and don't you dare say anything about me and lore, Josh.
Zip.
But they're also really cool variations of ships that you have. And the nice thing is, since they're ships that you already have, once you get the cards, you can just repaint your other ships and have more of them. Although the alternate B-Wing is really cool looking.
You know what's really cool about those sets is they actually carry cards for the Epic version of the game as well. And there's a version for Epic and for regular play for a few
Wait, what's Epic?
items.
Yeah. What is
Epic
it?
is for basically their apocalypse. So you can take large size, very large size ships, and you can fly your ships in wing formation. So there's a special holder that your ships fly all in one movement tray, stuff like that.
So, for example, the ship that Princess Leia is on in the original Star Wars.
Corellian
Oh,
Corvettes.
That was harsh.
Wow, that was
Um,
bad.
that is
That was bad.
that is an epic scale ship in X-Wing that you can buy. But you would not be able to play a Star Destroyer.
What if you want to?
Are you sure about that? Because I feel
Star Destroyer
like
would be the entire size of the board.
And it would be probably even bigger than the board. Yeah.
Can you play the Enterprise too, Aaron?
You know what? I didn't. At least I didn't glue myself to anything yet.
Yet.
It still says
some
yes.
time.
The Defiant, probably.
Yeah, you can play the Defiant in Star Wars. I'm done now. I'm
Aaron,
done talking forever. I give up.
Our crew. I put the models that I completed for Star Wars in the chat, so you can take a look at what I've done so far today, if you want to show it.
I appreciate your enunciation of the appropriate game.
I had to make sure.
All right, let me download these pictures. Oh wow, you made that one ship look real different. So how many X-wing ships have you painted in the past couple weeks?
I don't know, maybe like 20.
That's a lot.
So all of those ones I basically weathered and added a yellow panel of some sort to all of them so that they all tie in together.
I am loading them into our stream. Nope, that's just a picture of me.
Oh man.
Well, you look, Skeleton Stevo said, can we have Eye of the Tiger play in the background for the paint off? Which I totally approve. I will wear a headband even.
So he would say that because he's actually one of my mods.
Oh!
I actually pre-warned the entire Discord and dropped the link in, so there's been quite a few people from Discord that I run
Sneaking
actually
over
popping
here.
in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I have the tiger for 10 hours. Okay, I can do that.
I can't.
I can't.
I can't.
I mean, can we play different mixes of Eye of the Tiger? I'm sure there's a ton of like techno remixes.
No, Josh, that would defeat the
Why
point.
would you listen to techno?
Oh no! Everything was going so well, then I confused Star Wars and Star Trek, and then you made fun of techno. What are we gonna do?
I mean, I'm waiting for Daft Punk to repel him from the ceiling and beat
Daft-
someone. The question
Listen,
is,
why did you have to bring
which
up Daft
camera?
Punk? Why did you have to
Because
bring
I'm
up
sad
Daft Punk?
and I miss them.
They're
Yeah. Mr. and Mr. Daft Punk. How could you bring them up?
I mean,
I'm
here's
more into dubstep anyway.
here's the worst thing about this whole Daft Punk retiring thing. If you didn't know, Daft Punk retired. It was
Really?
Daft Punk retired a couple days ago. About a week ago, I was thinking to myself, I'm in my 30s now, right? Like I have a kid, blah blah blah, house, job, proper adult things, and
I feel young.
and I was like, I'm not that old. I still like Daft Punk. And then literally 3 days later, Daft Punk retires, and I'm like, oh no.
I'm old now.
My whole premise is flawed.
Stanley, save me.
That's even sadder.
Oh, I feel young right now.
How, if you don't mind, how old are you, Mango?
I'm 26.
Oh, you're old. It's done. Let me just tell you, it's
Your
done.
best years are behind you.
It's over.
Now, I'm not gonna agree. I think you've got another 2 years.
Yeah,
made.
27. 27 is the year, man. Let me tell you.
I have a kid.
It doesn't matter. 27.
So you're already like
Yeah, it's a
47.
question of when your joints start to degrade.
Yeah.
That's already happened. It's been happening for about 2 years.
Well.
Yeah.
It's all
Then-
downhill from
All right, old man.
You've convinced us. You're old too.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Methuselah.
I'll always be the oldest.
Well, until you die, because you're gonna die first, and then
And then one of us has a
and
chance
then
to be
Sean will
older.
be the oldest.
Doesn't
Wow.
Josh continue to age
Wow, that went
even
forward
after he
very
dies?
quickly.
I want to get my head transferred to a robot body anyway, so
Oh,
It'll-
like Richard Nixon in
Yeah.
Futurama?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's just into the vat. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
I'd put you on my shelf, Aaron, or Josh.
Oh, but not Aaron.
I misspoke.
Wow. Wow. What a stream. What a stream this has been. Okay, we are at almost a full 90 minutes. Couple more minutes until we get to the wrap up. We'll see. I'm gonna try real hard to get this car fully assembled before the wrap up.
I've done literally nothing.
What? No, I saw your brush touching things over there. And
Oh,
most
wow.
of them were
There's-
actually models.
Also,
Most of
I'm
them-
regularly on this stream, and it has taken me 90 minutes to paint 4 bolters before.
It literally has taken him.
It has literally taken
And then
me that long to paint
we had
4
to have an
bolters.
intervention about brush size
Yeah, we did.
afterwards.
Yeah.
It was a very valuable conversation to
We were
have.
like, there's other brushes than 000, right?
Well, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get in these little cracks and shit with a giant brush.
I agree. I
Apparently
agree with that.
But
Yeah,
that's not true,
But
man.
Sean's wrist is jacked because of the number of times he keeps going back to the palette because it dries on his brush too
Well,
fast.
that's one of the
He
reasons.
literally has to mist his brush with paint as he gets towards the model because it's
That's why he
one
lives
hair.
in Florida. All the humidity actually keeps the brush wet.
I did specifically move here because I liked miniatures.
He
What?
said,
Oh.
he says in his garage that has multiple pipes running in to keep it both hot and dry and cool at the same time.
Hold on, who's
Okay.
got that?
You do. Don't you have some crazy scheme
no,
hooked up to
that
the
sh-
garage
That
door?
shit was so expensive, dude. It was
Okay.
so expensive to run that. Plus, it blew out an outlet because all that fun stuff. But no, I
but,
have.
but you did try to run
garage.
it, right?
I did. I did try to, and it was very, very comfortable in here for quite a while. But
Now
it
it's
was
in his
not
front
worth
room.
the extra hundreds of dollars a month in energy that it costs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, it was like $400 a month.
What did you
Wow.
do?
Ouch.
Yeah, of
Ouch.
extra power to keep the garage cool. And this is not with it on all the time. This is with me, turning it on when I get home, trying to really like. Anyway, I tried to do a good job because I was like, oh, I like this. No, I have renamed the garage the Sanudio, which is a combination between
Sauna and
sauna
studio.
and studio.
Nice.
So
You
that
get
was
your
my
spits while you build some
Yeah.
marines.
yeah. So
Nice.
All right,
and Florida winter's over, so
We
I'm
are-
already.
we are in that final countdown. We will start with our guest, Mango. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Also, really appreciate you giving a shout out and bringing some of your friends over to our channel. I hope everybody
Absolutely.
enjoyed this. The whole purpose of our Sunday night streams is not for us in any way to educate you. You've probably figured that out by now. It's mostly to just have fun and to encourage people to hobby whatever their hobby is. It doesn't matter if you're painting a painting or building miniatures or working on needlepoint. Come join us on a Sunday, hang out, do something artsy, or just stick around for our fun banter. So Mango, thank you for joining us on that.
Yeah.
What did you get done in our 90 minutes today?
What got base coat and washers on a base, and then painted some leather.
Painted leather.
I love it.
Excellent.
That's literally it.
Sean, how about you? What's the difference between your tree?
I have layered in a bunch of darker browns with my tree. The big thing about this painting is I am gonna do this tree in acrylics with texture. I'm gonna have my daughter cut out a bunch of tiny little construction paper rectangles that I'm gonna use as candles. I'm gonna put those all over the tree branches. I'm gonna paint over those, and then I'm gonna airbrush the background into it afterwards, so that it kind of like bleeds over all of the texture. So at least that's the idea.
That's going to be awesome. Josh.
So
Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships with the added detail, completely weathered with washes and sponged off, and then added battle damage with sponges. And then I'm painting this guy red, and now I'm painting him black.
Big Aaron.
I did 10 bases that I'm just waiting to dry, and then I started doing some highlights on my Terminators.
Excellent. Well, I got one press fit ATV completely done. I got one half done. I did not glue myself to anything, and I did confuse Star Wars and Star Trek. So that is my
Full win.
accomplishments of the evening.
It's a full full day.
It's a full day. Well, I think it's closing in on something like 4 o'clock in the morning for you, Mango. So
It is actually dead on 4 o'clock right now.
So thank you again so much for joining us.
That's all right.
Please keep in touch. It sounds like you guys are doing a bunch of things.
I definitely will be.
I will find, or you can find some sort of fun, ridiculous challenge that maybe our two channels can compete against each other in. Either us against you or us all against us. We'll figure it out. But once
We'll
again,
figure it out, yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for making Dave cry. It's a beautiful thing when Dave is so happy that he cries. As always, this has been Aaron, Big Aaron, Josh, Sean, and this week Mango Smasher on Cool Guys Nation. Remember, we live stream every Sunday at 8:30. Otherwise, check out our videos, which are usually posted on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Until next time, we'll see you on the...
Table.
Table.
You can say table too, Mango. That's what everybody
Oh, okay,
says.
table.
Table.
Yeah, we all say
Table.
It was very confusing when we started doing it.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
And when I don't tell you about it. Bye.
Yeah.